When I married Daniel, I thought I was marrying into love and loyalty. But his family made it clear from day one I was not one of them. I was too quiet, too average, too poor. His mom called me plain. His sister rolled her eyes at my clothes. His dad barely looked at me. At every dinner, I was invisible unless they needed a target for mockery. I never fought back, just smiled politely. Daniel always said they'll come around, but they never did. Not even when I tried to help or bring gifts or offer support. One Thanksgiving, I brought homemade pies. His mom tossed them in the trash. "We don't eat store-bought," she said. Daniel just rubbed my arm like I was a pet. His sister once accidentally spilled red wine on my white dress. She laughed, said I overreacted when I cried. They called me dramatic behind my back, except not really behind it. I stayed silent for 2 years. Tried everything. Booked family vacations. Hosted birthdays. I became the family doormat, hoping they'd accept me eventually. The final straw came during Daniel's grandfather's funeral. They all wore matching pins from a family crest. When I asked for one, Daniel's mom told me, "Those are for real family." I stood there in black, holding Daniel's hand, trying not to cry. Even in grief, they pushed me out. That night I asked him, "Do you even see what they do to me?" He said I was sensitive. So I decided I was done. I stopped trying. I stopped smiling. I focused on what I did best: work. I had a business degree and I poured myself into my job. Ironically, Daniel's father owned a chain of family-run supply stores. They mocked my business skills, but I kept quiet. What they didn't know: I worked in distribution. Logistics. One night at dinner, I overheard his dad ranting about supply chain issues, how his margins were shrinking. His stores couldn't compete. I stayed quiet, smiled inside. Meanwhile, I started researching. Deep. Their suppliers, routes, inventory, payroll. I had connections in the industry they never imagined. I made calls, sent emails. After 6 months, I'd created a shell company and launched a direct competitor. Quietly, same market, better logistics, smarter pricing. I undercut them without being obvious. Daniel noticed I was working late, but didn't ask. His family thought I was still a loser with no ambition. They had no clue I'd opened my first storefront one town over. It took one holiday season for the shift to begin. Their customers were leaving slowly at first, and fast. I watched their numbers drop from public reports. Daniel's dad looked stressed. At Christmas, I handed out gifts while they sulked about economic downturn. I nodded sympathetically. His mom even said we might need to start budgeting. I could have screamed laughing. Daniel still didn't get it. Thought I was just lucky with work. Until one of his cousins walked into my store by mistake. He saw me at the register. "Wait, this is your place?" News spread fast after that. One by one, they started connecting the dots. My prices, my locations, even my branding, it was all built to compete with their failing legacy. Daniel confronted me one night, angry. "Did you do this on purpose?" I looked him dead in the eye and said, "I did what your family never did. I respected myself." He didn't talk to me for days. Then his dad called, asked to have a chat. I met him at a diner. He wore a forced smile and ordered coffee. "You've done well," he admitted. I nodded. "You didn't think I could, but you proved us wrong." He paused. "I could use your expertise." "I could use your expertise." I almost laughed in his face, but stayed calm. I told him I'd think about it, but I already knew. This wasn't about help. It was about survival, and I wasn't here to save them. I was here to take what they said I didn't deserve. After that meeting, Daniel's dad kept calling. I ignored the first few. Then I texted, "You said I'd never be part of your family. Now you want me to save it. Interesting." Daniel tried to play middleman. "Maybe this is your chance to finally be accepted." I told him I didn't need their acceptance. I had power now. They were the ones begging. The irony? My stores weren't just competing, they were dominating. I'd secured exclusive supplier deals. Their store shelves were half empty. Mine were full and cheaper. Daniel's sister came in one day pretending to shop. I watched her jaw drop when she realized everything was cleaner, better stocked, and twice as busy as her dad's stores. She walked out without buying anything. Later that night, she posted some shady Facebook status about traitors in the family. I didn't reply. I didn't have to. Their pride was collapsing as fast as their profits. Eventually, They had no choice. Daniel's dad offered to sell me the business, dirt cheap. He called it a merger. I met with my lawyer. We made it airtight. I bought the entire thing, name, assets, all of it for pennies. Put my name at the top, rebranded every location, made it mine. The day the signs changed, I stood out front and smiled. His mom drove by and stared. I waved. She sped off. That was the first and last time I saw her again. Daniel started acting different, cold, distant. You humiliated my family, he said. No, I told him. They did that to themselves. I just stopped playing along. He eventually moved out. Couldn't handle the shift. I let him go. No fights, no drama, just silence. And it was glorious. The peace of not begging for crumbs was everything. 2 years later, I'd expanded to 5 cities, hired better people, paid fair wages. I won awards, gave interviews. People asked, "How did you do it?" I always smiled. My ex-in-laws told me I'd never be one of them, so I built my own table and made them sit at the kids' end. That usually got a laugh. The truth? It was personal. Now, every holiday I take myself on vacation. No awkward dinners, no side comments, no red wine accidents. Just me sipping champagne in the sun, thriving. Sometimes I get curious and check on their Facebook pages. Daniel's dad sold his house. His mom runs a tiny blog with 14 followers. His sister married some guy who posts MLM quotes. Daniel remarried someone just like his mom. I saw their wedding photos. She wore a $40 knockoff gown, enforced smile. He looked miserable. Karma dressed in lace. As for me, I bought a loft downtown. Started mentoring young women in business. Tell them, the people who underestimate you, thank them. They'll never see you coming. I don't need revenge. I don't need apologies. I built something bigger than their approval. I built myself, from a quiet outsider to respected boss. And I'd do it all again. Oh, and that homemade pie they once threw away? I submitted it to a local contest. First place, blue ribbon. My assistant framed it next to our sales awards. Funny how things work out.